This is Rodison. This is Grasshopper. Good day, Governor. Governess. I think that's how you say it for women. Um, let's see. There's a few things that I wanted to talk about. Sometimes it might seem like I don't have it all together. Um, that's because it always is that way. That's the truth. Like, I think I think sometimes it's like you do you know what I mean? Like you don't realize how much of what you're doing is just you trying to keep it to so-called gather and maintain that image and you think you're crazy once you realize that you are maintaining the image, and the way you come to realize that you are maintaining the image is because it's uncomfortable after a while. You feel like you're working and you're not working. Like, so if you're working a 9 to 5, when you're maintaining the image, there's nothing different, because it's like working. You're in work mode. You know what I'm saying? You're in go. But once you step away from the work mode, the work environment, and you're on a sort of like prolonged vacation, right? Mentally, physically, and sort of it should then work out that way emotionally, right? No, but then you find that you're still in that work mode. How so? Because you're keeping up an image. And you find that when you're relaxed now, why are you having issues that why would you still have, like, I get, like, if we're all like working and like Manhattan life, New York City life, you know what I'm saying? And you have issues at home. I get it. It makes a lot of sense. Some would say they don't get it. Some would say, how you ain't tired? You're so tired that you don't got no problems anymore. That does make a lot of sense too. That is one way to look at it. I guess it could go that way, right? But that would mean that one is not in resolving their situations, which is what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be sitting in situations for extended periods of time. And so when one is occupied with many things, when one is inundated with so many things, then you don't get to ever see what the actual thing is. Be the thing that is the thing that will make you happy, or the things that are not making you happy. You can't differentiate them because you're so busy, you're moving so fast, and so going at and always going. And that's why sometimes when you take a step back from it, when a person retires from all of this, which is like fucked up, because you now, how old are you when you retired, and when how long you been going? You've been going, and then you die and you realize on the other side that you didn't have to work all that hard. You'll be like, what? Who told what? No, wait, how do I get that time back? And I'd be like, sorry, next life. um, so yeah, so lesson. But the point is that when you are able to sort of take a step back from work, from this go mode mentality, right? When you are able to take a step back from it, and you start to now see the same problems that you had when you were in go mode, that does something for you. It helps you realize that, okay, like, so this is a real thing. You see what I'm saying? This wasn't because I was just inundated with work. You know what I mean? So you got to go. You can see that now. It's clear for you now. That's what people say. When you retreat back to yourself, you're supposed to be able to. It's for the purpose of it benefits the outer community. It benefits the outer community. Like, it literally benefits the outer community. Because if everybody, I said this in one take, if everyone were given a year off, at least at some periods during your life, like every 10 years you get a year off. And I know, no, shit, no. Let me take that back. I mean, anything is better than nothing. But we always have something, so there's no such thing as no thing, right? So we but if you always have, how will you know how it feels to not have? Is there any benefits to the feeling of feeling like you don't have? It's a good question. Hmm. Are there benefits to the feelings of not having? I guess one would say, because nothing in and of itself is eternity, right? In other words, everything is you, and you are everything, and so therefore you have everything, and everything has you, right? But what we're saying is then that there are times, for the purpose of experience, that you might want to experience not having. Now, you do know that this is not for eternity. You will have it in another life. But for this life, for the value of this life, for the preciousness of this life, for the sake of this life, that not having has an impact on you. And it then has a feeling that it leaves with you. It leaves a certain residue with you. And it's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That just means that you've now occurred experience. You see what I'm saying? That you have experience. That's what I said before. The last another one, experiential knowledge is what we're here for. Because you gotta understand, like, you think experience is simple as just like, I want to experience that. I want to experience that. I want to experience that. No, you have to build the experience. You have to create. It's just like just like actors, or like creating a scene, creating a play, creating anything, a story. You have to create the story first. Then that's the experience. Then you got to go inside of the experience. That's the story. See what I'm saying? Like, you got to cast it. You got to get actors. You got to get people to want to perform the parts. Otherwise, it's just an experience. It's just a set. So, like, without you and me, without us, we have no life. Life doesn't exist. It's just a set, an empty set. But we gotta come in and we gotta give it feeling, we gotta give it emotion, we gotta give it all these other things, and we gotta pretend, if you will, as if there's such thing as we don't have. Is there such thing as lacking? As if there's such thing as time, this limiting thing, that thing that like has to make us, that's duration and in sort of like a sequence and in yeah, like, are these necessary? Well, yes, for the experience they are. It's like walking onto a set and say again, like I said, it's like walking onto a set of a movie and say, is all this necessary? The props, the actors, the actresses, like, what the fuck? You can't just tell us, you can't just sit there in the scene and tell us a story, right? You could have, but very much more impactful if you can bring that shit to life for us. Because now we like, oh, that's really true, man. Wow, look at that. Did you see how he acted that? He did such a great job. Wow. That's the reason. And so when we are inundated and we find and we get the time to be able to sort of pull back, which is what we should be able to do. It should be, I'll be honest with you, man, your life is meant to be free. So I don't know why we pretending like we should be rationing out freedom. Rationalize, you know what I'm saying? Rationalizing freedom. You know, no, we're not. No, we're not doing that. We're radical freedomists. We're radical freedomists. That's what we are, right? That's all we are. We ain't asking how and where and when. We just say, somebody said there's no freedom over in that sector, sir. Get them. That's what we do. We bringing freedom to every corner of the galaxy, to the universe. We're bringing freedom. Let freedom reign. It didn't say, when do we want it to show up? Should we tell it bring some friends too? No, no, no. Rain. Let freedom rain. When they pouring, it just, hey, everything got wet. Let everything get a feeling of freedom on its face, in its hair, on its back. Let freedom run down the face of every being. That's what you want. That's what I want. That's the only time we're happy. We're only happy when freedom is rain, when it's raining freedom. We only want freedom for rain. We don't want anything else. You keep it all. I just want freedom. Give me freedom. If you want freedom, then let's vote in freedom. But you understand what that means, right? Freedom means that we are trying to release ourselves from everything that is holding us, because we understand that freedom is no more the physical chains that once held us. It's not that anymore. And I'm not speaking to a certain race, or so-called race, or group of people, or race of species. I'm speaking to every species that is in existence. I'm speaking to life itself. I'm speaking to freedom. I'm saying that, listen, man, this is for everyone. We all have to want it. We all have to desire it. We all have to understand that freedom means that we have to free ourselves. Bob Marley said it: emancipate your mind. Emancipate yourself, right? From mental slavery. Emancipate your mind. Free your mind. And Vogue said it too. So for fun, for consciousness, for every reason you could think of, that anything that you might want to do under the sun, freedom is is where you want to be. If you got to think, who do I want to bring to this party? And freedom ain't on that list, first, foremost, then you got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like I said, you could say, well, Rod, I would bring love. And I'm saying to you that, it's like when the person gets a wish from a genie, and the genie says, "Be careful what you ask for." And you do that one wish that everybody's like, "Yeah, this dummy gonna do that." And then they did the wish, and now you end up with a bag full of something that you didn't really want because you didn't really put it together and how you ask it for it. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Be careful what you ask for, because everything is love. Everything is love. The existence is love. Space is love. Time is love. Everything is love. What you do within the space and time is love, because simply by fact of the nature that everything is love. But everything ain't freedom. You see what I'm saying? Not everything is freedom. Freedom is just the right to be here. Good, you're here. Now, if I don't allow you to have the right to be here, and I cage you up, that ain't freedom anymore. But it's still love. You see what I'm saying? Because as long as I can walk over to you and put the chains on you, and I could like to walk you into that cage, that's love. Because I can do it. Because I can do it. The ability to do it, the space to do it, and the time to do it, and you to be able to do it too, all love. But you might be saying, "But Rod, I can't believe you're saying that. Love doesn't mean that you would hurt me." In and of itself, it doesn't mean anything. It only means that you're here. That's all it means. Stop doing that with it. Stop playing, stop stretching it for something that it ain't. It only means that you're here. That's all it has to say. Love is like, love is your reasons for being here. It's who you are. It's like you got a right to be born. Now, who do you go to ask them if you were born? Who do you go to justify that you were born? Who do you go to? Who do you go to? Who do you find? What person is the person that you got to go to in Sector 48B and say, "Yep, sir, Mr. Grant, you were born. Yep, you are a human being. Yes, sir. You are alive here. Yep, 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 yep. Okay." You giving that ability over to somebody, then you realize you're giving a lot over to somebody. A lot. Your agency and all, like your whole committees, all your committees, just packed up with their suitcases and briefcases, just walked across the street to where you just handed your freedom to. That's what Bob Marley said, emancipate your mind. Mental slavery is the slavery of segregation. That's what I said. I don't know who you were when you were or wherever, but whenever you had chains bounding you to the rule or to the demand of another individual, whenever that was for you, for everybody it happened. Every species of human, every human, it happened to every race of human, rather, it happened to, right? So whenever you found yourself in that situation, you understood, you comprehended what that meant. In that life, you understood that I am bound to this cause that is not my cause because of these chains and because of those people over there. Keep an eye over me to make sure that I am bound. You're not in the same boat today, though, are you? But there's a resonance, there's a certain similarity that you can pick up that is not making sense to you. You're saying, "Well, I remember when I was in chains, and I couldn't go here and I couldn't do that, and they told me don't say that, and you know what I'm saying, you have to say it this way, and no, and no, I forget your name, and now you are this, and these are the colors you represent, and da 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 da, and no, this people are da. And if you're meant to protect this and you're meant to protect that, no, yeah, but you're like, but then the chains were there though. And that's why I was doing it then. But that's why I was doing it then. That's why I was doing it then. That's the only reason I did it. Like I said that to myself then. I said, if these chains ever found their way off of me, if there ever came a time when these chains fell their way off of me, I would liberate myself. You said that. You said that. You're on tape. You're on record. You're on record saying that to everything in existence. The day I'm free from this, you will pay. You said some shit like that. I'm telling you, you're on record. You're on record saying this shit. And then, like now, today, fast forward or some, time doesn't really, everything is happening all at once, as you saw in Michelle, what's his name's movie. Everything's happening all at once. So technically, you said this right. You saying it right now. There's a dimension, there's a space and time, there's an alternate reality that is layered right on top of this one, in which you are actually saying it right now, saying, "Wait till I get these chains off of me. You ain't never see a motherfucker more freer than me until you freed me off of these chains. And now look at you." Don't let that motherfucker know you exist because he gonna be like, somebody's probably saying it to him too. But you know, there's another realm right now. There's space and time right now, bro, where you probably got no chains on you and you sitting at a job right now and you like just letting everybody tell you what you should be doing and you just like looking at people and seeing them doing living their life and you judging them harshly for it because you don't want to take it. You don't want to take your mental change. Yo, but I know there's a dimension right now, yo. I know I'm going deep. I know we ain't changed right now when we ain't supposed to be that deep. But listen, I'm going deep. The spirit is hitting me, brother. The spirit is hitting me. And I think there's a time right now when you probably actually have no physical chains on you. But wouldn't it be crazy if you sitting in like yeah, for real, like the chains became not physical, it became more mental? That'd be wild, right? Ha 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 ha. Get back to work, guys. Okay, we go work. Yeah. Hmm. Wouldn't that be interesting? Hmm. Wild shit pops into my head. I don't know about yours. But anyways, the type of thing that pops into your head when you free your mind. You see what I'm saying? You see, a person in chains don't really have time to go many places, so you can't really look at them and say, "Yeah, brother, you just acting that way because you ain't getting out much." You can't. That'd be harsh. That'd be harsh. That'd be very harsh to say that, motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just acting like that. You're like a walking past a slave one day. You motherfucker just working, whistling, doing my job. Hey, motherfucker, that closed mind is based on the fact that you're locked in chains. Yeah, and the day and age we're living in now is what? The chains? No, I don't see any physical chains. So why can't your mind leap to this place here? Hmm. Why aren't you able to do it? Hmm. And the children are? Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Human species, I tell you, it's a dichotomy of interest. Spices of life when it comes to interest with the human species. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, whoa, didn't you say this yesterday that you will never? And now this time, now whoa, you are like, and then you got the nerve to call other people bipolar. Dude, I don't even think half of the population knows what bipolar means, by the way. And I don't even understand it. Like you guys, you judge things harshly. Like I said to you, you don't understand there's a literal space and time when you are saying the exact opposite of what you're saying right now, what you're thinking right now, what you're believing right now. There's a space and time when you are wishing to be free and you are literally allowing yourself to not be free, but you're telling yourself it's not because, you know what I'm saying? Well, it's only because, and it's only because, and meanwhile, there's a space and time when it was actual physical things holding you. I, I'm saying this in 15 different ways. But I don't know. I guess it's a point that must have. You can tell what irks me, man. You can tell what irks me, man. I swear to God, I feel like sometimes I feel like an alien living amongst another species of people, another species. I swear to God, like it's like I'm like like was there a new rule that passed in society that said to care is the way? To not care is the way. See, that's the rule I saw. But then I guess maybe it was a different rule. Maybe it was a different rule. Is there a rule in society that says to not care is the way? Like, cause like, is it me or is it just so obvious people don't give a fuck? Like, I swear to God, like, is it me or is it like, is there somebody like I feel y'all motherfuckers fucking with me? Is there like secret societies and secret meetings happening where you guys are meeting and there's like new rules are given out? Like, cause so last week I thought we were supposed to care about people. This week it looks like we're not supposed to care about people. Like, I'm confused. I'm just saying, like, I missed a couple meetings. My bad. My bad. Something with the mail must have been with the. I don't know. But like, is there a thing really happening like where we were told not to care about people? Like we were told not to care, like to like that. It's more sensible to care more about superficial things than an actual person. Did like where we make. I'm just trying to understand. I want to be on the same page. I want to. I really do. I honestly I don't. No, I don't. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to be on the same page. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I can't go back. I can't go back. I can't go back. I can't go back. I snip, and I was done. I was done. I'm not gonna fuck with you. I'm not. That's probably why I'm getting treated like this. Yeah, I did run on leave. I did leave. I was like the captain on the Titanic. It was the Titanic with the guy? The captain's like, I'm out of here. I'm fucking nah. This shit been sinking. I'm out. I'm gonna let you motherfuckers know straight forward and up front. And like, I'm listen, man. You don't got to worry me ratting on you because I'll never see you again. That's the fucking truth. You think I want to rat on you so I gotta see you 20 years later and be like, yeah, it was him, Your Honor. It was her. No, you're right. Did just search. I don't know. I don't even know who that person is, sir. So you good. So you good because I don't want nothing to do with you. Because if you go into meetings where you taught to not care about people, why you think I want to like? Honest to God, you're right. After that meeting, you should have moved away. You should have physically moved away. You see what I'm saying? Because I think at the meeting they meant to tell you was don't pretend like you don't care. No, really don't care. You see, like if that was the truth, if that was the truth, I would have sponsored that meeting. I would have fucking sponsored it. But what meetings you guys go to is a meeting that says pretend like you care. Pretend like you care. That's what you go to. And you think you're fooling somebody. That's what I'm trying to say to you. It's like, why this pretense as if you care? Why this like pretense? Like, why pretend like you care about like women? Right? Like, why pretend you care about feminism? Why pretend? Why pretend you care about like the animals on the planet? Why pretend you care about water when you don't really care about it? You can't care. If for a reason someone makes you feel another human being makes you feel insecure, you have to understand how you that means right and then and there. You really don't care about the planet. You don't have time to. That was what I was getting at in the beginning. You too inundated. You too busy. Your life is like a train on the New York City subway system. You run around. You've made it back and forth throughout that city. How many times a day? How many times a day you running? You running, girl. You running, boy. So you don't really know how to care about somebody. You don't have the fucking clue in your head how to care. You can't. Ain't no fucking way you could care about somebody with all that running around you doing. How the fuck you think you can? So then you pretend like you do. How you doing, sir? I'm fine, sir. Sir, sir. Sir, that motherfucker gone. How the fuck you? Who said fine? Like, was it a bird who was fine? You can't care. You can't. You didn't care, and you were asked how you doing. Think about that. So who don't you care about? Your own damn self. That's who you don't care about. When somebody asks you, "How are you, ma'am? How are you, sir?" You should be like, you should stop in your motherfucking tracks. You should stop in your motherfucking tracks if you cared one iota about your motherfucking self. How you expect somebody to care more about you when I ask you how you doing and you too busy to stop and say how you doing? You can't even check with yourself for 2 seconds to say how I'm doing. I ain't got time, sir. Why you fucking with me? Get out of my way. And you think you better for it. You're the dummy. You're the unbelievable dummy who will like literally void themselves out of considering their own self just for the simple fact of seeming like you don't care. Well, no, point made. Point made. You, my friend, should get the trophy for not caring because you just told the world you don't care about yourself. And really and truly, I don't want you to care about me. I don't. I don't want your attention. I don't, because your attention comes with daggers. You don't know how to give your attention with love and with consideration, with friendliness and with kindness, right? And like I said, when I use the word love, I use it into terms of space and time. That's what I mean. When you give somebody love, you give them space and time. That's what you give them. That's what love is. It's space and time. That's what I said to you now. Now, if you smack somebody within that space and time, it is love because it's you have the freedom to do it and you expressed it. Love is expression. It doesn't matter if you took it as negative. Another guy who said if somebody smacks you, you turn the other cheek. So why? What he smoking or she smoking? Maybe they just comprehend something that your motherfucking monkey ass ain't been able to yet. Maybe that's it. You think it's easy for a motherfucker to say, if a motherfucker smacks you, turn the other cheek. Your dumbass didn't take the time to think about what the fuck that must mean. All you can think about was, ain't no motherfucker gonna do that to me. That means you a wimp. Yeah, sure. Hubba too, motherfucker. Maybe think different. Maybe stretch your fucking imagination to think, well, what kind of strength would it fucking take? What kind of strength would it take? I told you the other time, motherfuckers was what? What were they doing to Mike Tyson? What would they do to him? Catch him outside, catch him out of the airport, catch him on the airplane. And what do we do? Nag him. Nag him, right? For the purpose of what? So that he could smack them or punch them or something like that, right? So what do people hope to get from you? What is one seeking to get from you when they agitate you? When I was a kid, I remember one of the biggest words, one of the first, besides supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Besides that, one of the other big words I learned was instigate, and I learned instigate on the playground in school because teachers always said that, and then kids picked it up. You instigated it because they understood what that meant. The two people fighting may not have been the people who started this. It may have been somebody else, kids. Watch out. Watch out now. Don't be fooled. You learned it at a young age. I did. I picked that up right away. Yo, this shit is wild. Instigator, instigator. It was almost like having a canary in the coal mines. Ow, 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 ow. Like, don't believe what the fuck you seen there. That bitch started it. That bitch started it. You act like you forgot about it. You act like you forgot about it. You pretend like you care. You pretend like you care when the telltale signs are there. The canaries all around, motherfucker. They sing and they say, nah, Rod, don't believe them bitches. Them bitches don't give two fucks about you, motherfucker. They just want to be seen with you. That's all they care about. They want the attention. And they'll reel in Godzilla if they could get a selfie with that motherfucker. That's what they would do. Just to have a conversation with the pictures could be taken. That's what people would do these days. They don't give two fucks about you. They don't really sincerely care about you because they don't care about themselves. I tell you this before, man. People don't understand. When you meet somebody and you're having a conversation with them, are you treating them, are you dealing with them, you putting a gift on the altar. But you don't realize that you're making an actual sacrifice to yourself. The gift is to yourself. So how you treat me when you meet me, when I'm in your presence, is a representative of how you see yourself, how you really see yourself. You cannot treat me separate or different to how you would treat your insides. You can't do it. Can't do it. And that's what I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to drop some gems for you here. This is like me coming to you from Pluto, right? What you consider to be the last planet, not even planet. We don't even know what you did with it now. But I'm coming to you from Pluto as the last child of my own bloodline, I'm family bloodline, and as the last planet, so-called planet, with a message that's saying to you, the universe and the galaxy sees you. You see you, but you want you and yourself to facilitate a different way, a more positive way, a way that resonates with the actual identity, which is you, your frequency, your vibration. Right now, the way you are living is based on an old paradigm. And while time is a concept and everything is happening at once, the term old refers to antiquated, to ideas that have been used, expressed, cycled, determined unfit for us at this point in time, for our advancement, for our personal and collective evolution. We have deemed it to be so. We have deemed that we want to move forward. We want to elevate higher and past the mundane, superficial things. Therefore, we want to move forward and upwards, away from this matrix, outwards to a space where there are no walls, there are no cages, there are no ideas that limit us, there are no beliefs that set us inside and separate us from outside. That's what we are saying we want, where we are going. So, this message, this transmission is for you to choose with your consciousness where you would place your awareness so as to elevate and not stay in the same position you've always been in and forget the point and purpose of your presence here. Elevation, advancement, constant evolution. This is your choice. This is your time to act on the things that you want, to be who you want to be, to not allow anything, anyone, even yourself, to limit you, to have true pride in who you are, in the core of what you want to be, separate from who your mother and who your father is, who you want to be, to find who you are within the ideas of all the ideas. to create a space and a time for yourself, to love yourself so much, to deem it so that you deserve that. You deserve freedom. Freedom is reigning throughout the galaxy, throughout the cosmos, throughout the universe, throughout all dimensions, from the highest to the lowest. Freedom is obtained by all spirits, by all beings, by the angels of light and the demons of darkness, and everything in between. Spirit, physical, energy, water, everything embraces enlightenment, because for the beings and the species that have the capacity to carry intellect and consciousness daily with them, it is our obligation to advance. Because for the beings that are not of this privilege, it is us they are dependent on. We have the choice to choose advancement, regression, stagnation. We have the choice to choose. A rock does not have that choice. A fish does not have that choice. Eventually, the choice is no longer, because that's what we wanted. We did not want this choice to go on forever. Otherwise, it's not a choice. It's a way of life for us. Freedom, that is. Freedom is something that you must want. You must understand that is the only way you can walk. It's the only way you can run. It's the only way you can be. There is no other way to be. There is no a little bit of freedom, some freedom. There is only absolute freedom. That's what it is. That's all it is. It's the only way it exists. Think about telling freedom, yo, we gonna let you be free on the weekends. Think about if freedom was your neighbor. Think about if freedom was the actual embodiment of your child. Think about if freedom was the actual embodiment of your partner. Think about if freedom was the actual embodiment of any person you know, any being you know. If freedom was the embodiment of that individual and you knew that, how would you be treating that individual? If you were freedom and you found out that this morning when you looked in the mirror that you were the embodiment of freedom, would you be happy? Would you say that you have done everything to to crystallize the name with the body, with the person, to marry them together? Would you be happy to say, I've let freedom reign? Only you can know that. Though it's quite easy to see and observe. This is why, now more than ever, it is important for us to recognize that one of the healthiest things for us to be doing is to be going within. This is why now more than ever it's important to us for us to recognize the importance of going within, because you actually are the embodiment of freedom. Freedom started out as a choice. It started out as a choice, and then it was mandated. Wouldn't that makes the most sense to any and everybody, right? You started out thinking, hey, let's try out this thing for core freedom. And then what did you find out immediately? You'll never go back. You'll never go back. You don't give a fuck. Nope. No. You've seen how many people die for freedom. You see what people do for freedom, right? People show up at your shores, swim away from all kinds of things. For what? The idea of freedom. The idea. This idea of freedom. You put a statue up in your harbor in dedication to freedom, to liberty. What's about the individual liberation? The emancipation of the individual mind. Because why? Because what can anyone capture from you these days? I can't take you hostage without many federal laws being broken, but I can capture your mind. And if I capture your mind, well, then I've captured you. Physical slavery taught us that. After a while, it just doesn't look good, physical slavery, but mental slavery. Even though it looks terrible for those who can perceive who the instigators are, it takes a while for the rest of the world to catch on. But it does a lasting damage. This segregation, I say, in my opinion, segregation did more damage than actual physical slavery to the population. White so called people, black so called people of the human species, and anything in between and on either side. Your segregation did more. Your segregation within your family, which is turned into manipulation. Segregation and manipulation has to work hand in hand. They are good friends because in order to segregate, you have to manipulate because both are the mental exercises of the individual that are used upon another individual or people to make them perceive that they are not equal or not what they truly are in order for them to feel lesser than what they are because you can't physically go out and make them believe that. So you do everything else to make them perceive as if they are less than what they should be thinking they are. I would say segregation and manipulation made a deal in the back rooms somewhere in slavery times and said, this is how we get our comeback. Yeah, this is how we gonna get them. And it worked because even better than physical slavery, manipulation now works within the actual family circle. So like fathers didn't really like enslave their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like shit was really rough. Family didn't do that. You know, a white mother and father wouldn't enslave their white son. No, he about to have his own. A black family or Asian family, Chinese or Japanese family wouldn't enslave any members of their family unless you would die of straits. And you know what I mean? That's a different ball game. But today, when a father has an ego that's bigger than his son, or at least the image of his son in his mind and his heart, isn't that a type of slavery? Manipulation? Now, how else does he get across to the son that, hey, son, you ain't better than me? Just remember that. He may not be able to go and tell him. He may not be able to beat him in basketball anymore, any sports anymore. So what you got to resort to? And I didn't have a father growing up, so I'm saying this based on what I'm telling you how I experienced the human experience. I know men do this. What about you women? So you see now, you've advanced in your slavery. You've advanced in your manipulation, and manipulation took place. Now, you didn't have to use manipulation back in the day because the physical was so important, right? You just said, hey, listen, man, you my slave. And the motherfucker was like, "Well, clearly, I got the chains on, bitch. You think I'm staying there for because it's a great holiday spot? But nowadays, you got somebody staying with you that what? You want them to feel less than who they are. You don't like when they looking too happy. Mm, mm, mm. See, back in the days, you just had to deal with a motherfucker like that. You know what I'm saying? You just see, you ain't worry about that. But as I said, slavery advanced. Ain't no more chains on your arm. Your boss ain't telling you. These days, your boss can't even curse at you anymore. Back in the days, your boss could curse at you. So he's letting you know, I own your motherfucking ass. Yeah, motherfucker. So you go home, you like, damn, this motherfucker is talking to me like that, these motherfucker. So you know why you angry. These days, Sally, can you stay late this weekend, please? Yeah, we're gonna need you to stay late. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, everybody else is doing it. I don't need an angry tone for you to ask me to stay late when I ain't say I want to stay late. That's some bullshit. That's slavery. That is salary. Your whole idea of salary, the whole salary idea, slavery, slavery. Hmm, let's see now. Why do I have to work before you pay me if we have equal things? If my work is equal to your money, why do I have to work before I get the money? Why can't you give me the money before I get the pay? When I rent a place from you, I stay there. right? Technically, that's how it was. You stay there and then you pay the person, right? 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 You stay there and then you pay, right? So the person, but so why is one way better than the other? Why do I have to work and then you decide if my work is worthy of the money you determine? Why can't you show me you can pay first? Not saying one is better than the other, but just showing you that there is like there's a you literally flipped it when it came to renting, right? Some places you live there and then you actually do you ever? Yeah, right. You pay your first month, and then I think you pay after that. But however you're doing it, you're making somebody stay in a space, and then you're making them have to pay each either a month ahead or a month behind. Well, I mean, nowadays you kind of fucked it all up because now you got first month, last month, and you got first month, last month, and security. So that's first, second, and middle, first, middle, and last, right? So you covered everything, and then you still don't trust me. I still got a lease. I still got to pay each month. It's like all of these things were done to create ways of holding you to each other, locking you into each other. So you're enslaved to these ideas and to each other. When in actuality, you're living your life in a way in which proves that you could actually just do this off of just like, yo, I'll pay you every month. Yeah, I'll pay you every month. Whatever. We good. Shake your hand and deal it. Even with any of the arrangement with your company. Like I used to think about this at work. Like they don't even want to see you walking by the water cooler. Like they don't even want to see you talking to somebody. They don't even want to see you like hanging out. Like I feel like this, right? If you work for me and we have an objective, that's all we have. You don't work for me. We have objectives. So if, say, for instance, the culture we live in, right? Obviously, business is business, right? So I'm saying, like, but I'm just saying also too, the way you fasten something is because how you're fascinated by it, right? So you fasten everything because based on how you're fascinated by it. I'm more fascinated by the idea that we could collaborate together. So I'm gonna do everything to support that idea that we can collaborate together. If you're more fascinated by the idea of making money, then you're gonna fasten everything based on that idea. You follow where I'm going with this, right? So I'm saying I'm fascinated by the idea of collaborating with people, by coming up with great ideas, by implementing them, by seeing them come to floor fucking fruition. That's what I'm fascinated by. If you're more fascinated by the idea of making money, then you can see how all your creative ideas goes into how to make money and very few go into how to collaborate and do the actual things that make you happy. So I would not create a system or incorporate a system or even like encourage a system in which someone believes they work for me. Like that's like, how do you not understand that you just left slavery? You supposedly embarrassed by slavery, but yeah, you got no problem saying, yeah, they work for me. They work for me. The next thing you should say after that is, by next week, they'll be breathing for me, walking for me, speaking for me. Why not? Why stop at working for me? Because your life is what? Your work requires you to breathe. Your work requires you to eat. Your work requires you to sleep. Your work requires you to play. Everything involved that has to do with work requires your entire vital force. So if a motherfucker says, you work for me, he owns you. He owns you. Ain't nothing else you do. You work for your living according to the way you see the world. You work for your living. That is not fucking true. No baby came out the fucking womb and those instructions rolled down the fucking ceiling and said, now you will have to work to continue to be here. Never happened. Nah, never. No, I don't remember. I don't remember much, but like for my baby being a baby, but like that's not something that I think happens anywhere. But this is the ideas you carry still. Like you said, you embarrassed by slavery. You don't even want to talk about it in your schools, but yet you still telling motherfucker they work for you. He belongs to this company. They belong to that company. They belong, motherfucker. Belong. You know where I belong? And if you think that way, you know my foot fucking belongs. I don't belong nowhere except where the fuck you see me. These terminologies are outdated. Like you motherfuckers got nerve. Hey, don't say retarded. Don't. You work for us. As long as you work for this company, you will not say retarded.
You need a group of people to. You know the funny thing about? I thought about this the other day. I'm gonna drop some shit. You ever thought about this the other day? Thought about this the other day. The word nigger. Nigger. This nigger done said this to me, right? I remember growing up, right? Do you? It was a good thing. Taught me a lot. Remind me of a lot. But I remember like how nigger for a lot of people, this is kind of like how I'm talking about, like how people are so supposedly offended by this idea of like of of slavery, but yet use terminology that is very much like came from those days. Even police, like they're police. Where do you think police came from? What do you think police was? It didn't come around for nothing other than to find the fucking runaways, man. To make sure no runaways. Come on. So let's stay. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you're PC, supposedly you're PC, right? But you're not. That's what I'm saying. You're woke, but you ain't. You're still, they ain't even snoring at this point. We wonder if you're still live, right? So stop with it. Stop with it. Come correct, man. Like I said before, right? So this whole idea of nigger and how many from the so-called black community, young folks, which is like, to be honest with you, like you think humanity at this point would get it? Who are your revolutionists? Who are the people who are usually revolutionists? Is it the 80-year-old one motherfuckers, the old ones, the 60-year-olds? Let me know when to stop. Is the 60 the ones in the 60s? Is the folks in the 50s, the revolutionary ones, the ones who get you the cheese or whatever, the dude from Mexico, whatever the Fidels of the world, are they were in their 40s and their 50s when they started with us? They 40s, were they 40s? How old were they? Were they 30s? Were they 30s? Were they in their 20s? So the people who are revolutionary usually start out and like come out like in like 20s, in their 20s. You understand that. But yet each generation makes it their duty to speak so harshly of that particular generation that's coming up. And like if you don't know that that's the one who's carrying like the mother goose, the golden goose egg, and you're like, don't let them drop it. Don't be careful. Motherfucker, don't drop it. And you're like, yo, do you not get it that they're the precious ones? Like, how you not get that by now? Like, what the? When you were doing it, you were like, why are they treating us like this? We just trying to show them that this change will be better for us. I know they older than us, but we came with a message. We came with a message, and now you doing it to them? I get it. Like I said before, when do you motherfuckers understand that the cycle is like going to the theme park? You get on the rides, but guess what you're supposed to be doing afterwards? Get the fuck off. Get the fuck off the ride, man. You just cycling and cycling and cycling. It's like a fucking washing machine. You ain't clean yet? You ain't clean yet. You still need another fucking cycle. Do it again. 60 minutes. On high, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gotta go through it again. We're gonna be here for another one, guys. Motherfuckers talking about we're quick thinkers. We're a quick study. Year number 7 or 8, but you know what I'm saying? They'll come together any minute now. They're working it. Slow train from China. Don't know how I'm making it across the water, but he'll make it. He'll make it. You know this. You know your revolutionary individuals are usually young. Your Nikola Teslas, your Einsteins. They didn't. When you choose to recognize them, it's like look at Nikola Tesla. You in his 40s when everybody talking about. Look at that. Look at the shit he did when he was. Man, that's how you know somebody got talent. When you scouting the motherfucker for soccer, you motherfucking idiots. When you scouting motherfuckers for sports, when you scouting them in their 40s, let's see what he got here. He looking good out there. Oh, he cracked his back. Oh shit, no, he's going down. You picking them when they fucking ripe. But you acting like you dumb that you don't understand that that's the same shit so when that motherfucker opens their mouth, you pick one motherfucker, a Greta fucking from a girl from another part that you could fucking see has been tamed. As if you don't understand how the game is played. You know good and well the people in the company that you worked for, the one that with the true talent, the true motherfucking talent in the company that you work for, that you saw pushed in the corner and treated like shit. You know that's how the rest of the world is. You know the true motherfuckers don't get made it in the front. They don't get pushed to the front. You know that. Like the Matrix is gonna be like, let's just give him what they give him. Like, he is a good speaker. She do got a lot of positive things to say, but this is the Matrix, sir, and we are supposed to be suppressing them. But man, they just speak. So we gonna let this chick get up there? She don't even have to say nothing. I mean, even for the sake of just like having something interesting to hear, man. You know that. You know that. You very well know that that's how the world operates. And it is operating that way still to this day. That the motherfucker who's speaking up there like a Joe Biden, you're wondering, like, how is everyone not insulted by this? Every fucking being in existence, a roach would have fucking been in. They motherfuckers, they terrible. These humans are the worst. How are you not embarrassed to the core? You fucking mutants. Get the fuck out of here if you think you want to pretend like you have a heart. You want to pretend like you got a motherfucking. Yo, there's a valve in your chest for fucking sure, and it's from a plumber on the earth. Ain't no fucking God put that shit in your chest. You motherfucking stupid. If you gonna watch that shit and tell me you think you human, you think you human. You got involved with a whole voting political system, and there was a motherfucker on stage who could barely speak, who's supposed to be the leader. So if the leader had to lead us into a charge of war, could they? I'm supposing they should be able to, just by simple minor characteristics of the idea of one being a leader. They should be able to run off that stage and no, can't do it. In an eloquent speech, no, can't do it. So what are we looking to this person for? Ideas? I thought they had like advisors for that. How dumb do you want to continue pretending to be? How dumb do you want to pretend to continue to be? If you can't imagine that all the presidency takes is for your dumbass to be in that seat and to have the same advisors that everybody else have, if you can't imagine that's all the job really requires, all it does, all it does. Why the advisor from such and such got to be a specialist in that area? Why? 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 You got the president from every other field on the fucking planet, every field, giving the information to one individual, and you think the one individual is special. You guys are the dumbest. The roaches are complaining like how they taller than us, and they got those brains and they can't figure shit out. Roaches have been saying this shit, man. You gotta be out of your mind, inexplicably dumb, just dumb shit, and you lining up at a booth where a motherfucker told you to go vote. Come talk to me when you have a brain that is functionally working, that can work, that can operate, and you can do other things than recite the fucking countries on a map that some motherfucker wrote up. Do something other than that with your powers, with your ability. Show me that you could fucking figure shit out. If you want to come work for my fucking company, fucking idiots. What company fucking putting out shit like that that you could fucking really say, yo, there's really some real shit right here though, man. But you follow behind any motherfucker that say something that looks like it will have a crowd behind it. Like you don't understand what a leader looks like or fucking is. You couldn't fucking figure out a leader if he smacked you in your face. And that's the only reason because I wasn't smacking none of you motherfuckers. You ain't worthy of my hands on you. You ain't fucking worthy. I touch you and I'll fucking have to deal with you fucking being in my fucking energy for another 10 years or some shit. I gotta wash my hands after I touch you motherfuckers. Inability to use your fucking brain to turn over like a car that's been dead for fucking how long? Cha 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 cha. You can't fucking get your brain to turn over to something else. You can't see how you're being used and played. You'd rather be used and played and be feeling like but seem like you're not than be free. And even though they're gonna talk shit about you, that egotistical, my man, my woman. So, anyways, this word nigger, alchemy, and you know what it means. Alchemy is the ability to transmute, to shift something from one thing, one state to another. That could be the meaning of a word. That could be the definition of a state, or place, or time. And I think the black young men and young women of the community of the '90s and the 2000s, I would even say I was sitting in the back of my seat like, how will they pull this off? How can they do this? I honestly, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even agree with them all the time. Did not. But you know what I will also agree? It felt good to rebel with them though at times. Isn't that interesting? Ain't that interesting? And I think it's that commonality that is the rebel. I think that pulled me closer and closer and closer and helped me because I had this whole good personality thing and mentality thing from Jehovah's Witness thing. So, but even after that left, it took a while to understand it. But then I started to see the magic behind what was being done. The magic is what it is. And if you're interested in magic, you start to look for the magic in everything, in people, in persons, in places, and things. You look for the magic. And so you're not fooled by the superficial things. You look for the magic. You look for the things that are happening behind the scenes. So when people come up and they think they want to get attention in your face and they talking and they just want to get your attention, and you're like, that is not magic. Magic doesn't have to perform like that. Magic stays, you stay still and you let your presence do the rest. Secrets I'm giving away for free. You can't fake it though, just so you know. It is not one of those things. Nothing according to the universe is a such thing as fake it till you make it. You make it when you make it. When you want to make it, you'll make it. If you want if you see something that gives you the idea that you should fake it till you make it, why not just tell yourself be it? Why not just be it? Why not? Why do the Google ga and then have to unlearn that and then learn the real language? Why do that? You are able to just jump right into it and say, I'm doing this. I'm gonna be the real person. I don't have to fake it. I don't have to be around other people. Actually, it'd be easier if I start doing it by myself. You see what I'm saying? So that's putting it in practice. And then when I'm around those people, that's who I'm not. That's who I am because that's what I want to be. That resonates with me, right? So that's what happens with the word nigga. And last time I checked, a dictionary was not ruled, or rather, the people are not ruled by a dictionary. Last time I checked, dictionaries were ruled by people, right? I thought people dictated what a dictionary is and should have in it. Like a dictionary, who's dictionary out there? Like who's walking around? She's walking around. This is what I say. No. So if a group of people, especially young ones, like I said, the revolutionary sector of that species or time, right? The revolutionary sector says that this is a new thing here. This is what we're doing. Why isn't it? Why aren't your scientists so intrigued and interested in saying, let's take a look at this. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This group of this sector of our population is saying this word here is different. We have to acknowledge that. That would be wisdom. That would have been wisdom. That would have been wisdom. Would have been wisdom. But you see, you adults are so used to shutting down younger people. You think it's in your protocol. It's in your mandatory protocol to shut down a young person. Nah, sir. I don't know why yet, but I'm gonna have to say no to that. We'll get back to you on Monday on the pros and the cons of whatever. What am I? Yeah, he's not important. Yeah, you're so used to doing that you just disregard everything. But if you think about what alchemy means, and if you think about what they did with the word, you will see how alchemy was very much what was in play. I gotta say to my hip hop nation, yeah, really cool. That's something I'm proud of. You know what I mean? Like even the word bitch, like anything you want. Cause I like you don't understand. Like if you tell me don't say it now, it's like I get what they were doing. You're so dumb. Let's just tell them don't say these words and let's hope they don't really say it, please. These are a few words that we hope you guys will listen to. We're not gonna do any of the things you asked us to do, but we just would like you guys to not let's say these words. Sure thing. So you don't want us to say nigger? You don't want us to say bitch, Jew, hey, slight, whatever. What are these other words? You don't want me to say those? Just because you don't want me to say them? Just because you don't want me to say them, I shouldn't say them. Wait, hold on. But just because you don't want me to say, but yeah. No, I heard all those other things. But just because you don't, yeah. So I, in the name of freedom, should give freedom another day off and say and do what you want me to do. Yeah. Good luck with that one.